Bourbonbarkeep, my name's Curtis. We have made it. It has felt like an absolute marathon, mainly for the bank account. I don't know how we pulled it off this year, but we did. Pretty good year. I was looking back, I was like, you know what? Maybe it was a little top heavy, but guess what? The top heaviness tasted so good. Let's figure out what was just best that we put in, well, my body. If you've watched this channel at all, we do 2 scoring systems. So yes, you get a double dip of Bourbonbarkeep Whiskey of the Year rankings. But we're going to break it up into parts because I don't want to edit 30 minutes. And you're not going to watch 30 minutes. So, and I don't blame you. So take that for what it is. First, we're going to start with a thank you because you're not going to make it to the end. And I respect that. Thank you all to the new subscribers, the subscribers that have been around. I don't know why sometimes. Special shout out to Jacob, the lone Patreon guy, holding it down for me. And I thank him nightly in my prayers with my children. So they know your first name. Another shout out to Big Tom. He's been donating samples. We've exchanged samples, to be fair. But guess what? His samples have been extremely valuable, has answered questions. We have other samples from him waiting for 2026. So thank you all specifically to those 2 people, but also to the people that have been out in the comments this year. It was rocky in the comments on some of them. And sometimes I'm like, that makes sense. And sometimes I'm like, you took time to write that. Power to you. I wish I had that amount of time. But nonetheless, thank you for participating. Hopefully I can win you back. Now, onto the rankings. That's the spiel. We're getting close to Christmas. You may be watching this on Christmas. So let's just be merry, you know? Let's revisit some of the best whiskey we've tasted this year on this channel. Are there better bottles? There we go. Better bottles? Yes. Will you see BTAC? No. I wish you would, because that means I tasted it. So this is only bottles that have been reviewed this year on the channel. This is the only senses category. We are not taking bang for the buck. That will be part 2. Maybe next week. We'll see how the advent calendar stacks up with the little ladies asleep upstairs. So for now, pure senses. We do not care price. And there is no truer essence of senses categories than actually number 10, to be fair. I went back and forth and I'm like, man, this is going to make top 10. And I would taste it. And I'm like, this is really good. And then I would look at the price and I'm like, why are you looking at the price? This doesn't matter for senses. So it made it. So without further ado, number 10, 2025 Bourbonbarkeep senses only bottle. High West Burrye, whatever you want to go with. The Jackalope. This was the first time I've ever seen this in our area. And I was like, hey, I've heard rumors of the Jackalope, the whiskey. I was like, I'm going to snag that. There was no price tag. So if you watch that Spotlight episode, I was not thrilled with myself. I'm not going to lie to you. But I poured it and I was like, you know what? That's really delicious. Overpriced. But that doesn't matter for these rankings. We're going to breeze through quick specs. This is going to be a 95.5 rye out of High West Distillery, and then 3 other mixes, blends of Kentucky bourbons. This was coming in at 92 proof, and I was worried. It drinks above it. The viscosity is fantastic to it. It has this great blend of just sweet and spice, and it's just overpriced. There's no way around it. But if you were one of the people that pulled the trigger on it, you poured it and you're like, you know what? I would do it not again. But it's a very delicious pour. There's just this great kind of caramel, vanilla, and nice just spiciness to it. And I really enjoyed it. And on the revisit, I was shocked. It just kind of kept standing up. And it tastes expensive. I put it against a couple bottles that didn't make the top 10. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do that. So Like I said, we do revisit most of the bottles that I can think of, a couple or samples, but we revisit, see how they open up, see how they change. And this guy barely made it in the top 10. And I think some of it was just kind of biased to some of the specs and price, but it was absolutely delicious. Now, moving on to number 9. This was also one of the most surprising bottles that I think I tasted this year, and one of the bottles that I panicked most about on fresh crack. Bardstown Bourbon Company, the Ferrone 2. Ferrone 1 apparently was not a success. Luckily, I did not buy that one. We got the 2. This one probably is going to be the most polarizing, not ranking-wise, just palate-wise. I think this has a ton going on. There's a bunch of richness to it. And at $140, $150, it does punch at it. But this one, it's pretty grapey. You got to like cognac. And being a cigar guy, I was like, boy, that is going to be great. And it was. So cigar guy out there, 150, 140, I understand. But if you're intrigued, and this is half, a third of the price maybe of the Joseph Magnus cigar blend, this guy, it stands up, and it is absolutely delicious. Quick jump cut, mainly because the microphone picks up the sliding, and it's obnoxious. Number 8. This one I was on the fence of, mainly because I'm struggling with the, can't call him a distiller, whiskey maker. We'll just go whiskey maker for now. So if you've watched the channel, that's going to be a tip to you. This one I was on the fence of. Once again, you're going back, you're blinding some of these, and you're like, is this good? Should this be a top 10? And it made it. It made it, and I don't know if I'm pumped or not. But nonetheless, number 8. 13th Colony, their first ever cask strength rye. 95.5 rye, coming in at, what we say, 120.7 proof. This is going to be just incredible, just chocolate, brown sugar, molasses, nice little mint in there. Brings you into just an Andes mint, or maybe even like a Girl Scout cookie, and both I'm pumped for. I couldn't go with my gut, I had to go with my heart. Or maybe I have that flip-flop, I don't know. But whichever one, that palate was so good. I went in glass half empty, came out just absolutely pleased with myself. Now, moving on, you may see a slight shift. I'm running out of room. And yeah, I'm sipping on Whiskey of the Year over here. So if you can tell by the color, maybe you should start your own channel. So moving right along, we got 10, 9, 8, 7. Here we go. We're growing. Personally, and maybe physically as well. An American single malt has made the top 10 of Bourbon Barkeep. This was not my first, but maybe third ever American single malt that I had. Once again, shout out Tom with the samples. It made it. It is delicious. And I kept coming back to it, and I kept thinking about it. It was just this incredible apple pie filling goodness. It just brought me back to Applebee's when the Long Islands were BOGO and you could bounce back. This is just incredible baking spice, brown sugars, apple pie filling, apple pie crumble with Applebee's bringing it out on the hot skillet, and you know you shouldn't touch it. And as sure as the sun will rise, that forearm touches it, and you're like, hi! Yep, did that a few times, but boy, Stranahan's 12-year founder's release at 120 proof, I believe. I hope so. I can't find it, and we're just going to roll with it. Incredible proof, incredible mouthfeel. When you start getting into some of these upper tier whiskeys, that mouthfeel, it goes a long way, personally and in whiskey tasting. So here we are. Now, rounding out the bottom of our top 10. This feels like a slight, but it's not. So keep that in mind. Number 6, Bourbon Barkeep. Whiskey of the year. Growing, not just quantity, but in palate. This is already maybe the most rye whiskeys that I've ever made, my top 10. And my rye guy, I don't know. We're going to revisit just what's going on in January, apparently. 110.2 proof. It's just so good. It's so good. It's citrus, vanilla, honey, mint. It is just what I want my rye whiskey to be. Little dark, a little deeper on the 13th colony. Over here, there's just this great, just toasted sugar, cream. Just loved it. Definitely more of that Kentucky style rye, which I'm going to gravitate towards. I got a buddy that's more herbal rye guy, and he gets a lot of samples that I don't like, and he loves them. So shout out to him. Nectar's, this one, it was a hit, and maybe it's because the single malt, the breadiness, the cinnamon cereal, I'm still getting there, but the fact that Stranahan's is up here speaks volumes. And I also think that the rye whiskey on the Nectar's barrel strength should speak volumes, as I did title the channel Bourbon Barkeep, to be fair. If you are anything like me, you were like, why is he spacing like this? He can't fit those in the screen. And you'd be right. I tried it in the test run, and I was like, this looks dumb, and I couldn't breathe. Maybe it's the claustrophobia. I don't know. But ultimately, the top 5 whiskeys of the year deserve their own stage without the peasants of the other 5. Dang it. Anyways, moving right along. Top 5 Bourbon Barkeep whiskey of the year goes to... It's so good at $80. Sagamore Rye's 10-year rye just keeps getting better. It is just peach on peach, and just the crumble. It's so good. And then you put it on the palate. I know you thought. Now, I will say this year the tiers were pretty drastic, meaning that the Sagamore Rye, I did personally feel like it ran laps around the Nectar's barrel strength. 9 and 10, you were like, okay, I wish there were better options, but I'm just going with what I chose. Were they bad bottles? Absolutely not. But this is where the big boys come. This is your Alabama versus Tulane. This is, they get off the bus and you're like, you're a 5-star. Sagamore, 4-star, but there's a difference. So now we're getting into the big boys, the SEC of college football, if you will, the Big 12 of college basketball, if you will. Rock chalk. Top 4 whiskey of the year. Top 4 could be a college student, so I didn't intend that, but it happened like that. Knob Creek 21. This is an absolute monster pour. This guy, I was a little nervous about the 100. This is easily the oldest whiskey I've ever tried. Yeah, that was incredible. I seem to be in the minority on enjoying Knob Creek 18, which is fine. That's when you start latching on to some of these other YouTube channels. Like I watched ADHD Whiskey before all of this, and I was like, man, I really like Knob Creek 18. Why does everybody hate it? He really enjoyed it. I'm like, okay, maybe our palates are the same. Let's just walk together through this whiskey journey. So I got my big boy pants on, and I was like, I need it. I gotta try it. And it is unbelievable. Now, the people that are like, it's oaky, you are correct. It is an absolute oak, barrel char, tobacco, leather, and dark fruit bomb. And apparently I love that. It's delicious. It feels like a meal. So it's slightly intimidating to crack on just a random Wednesday. But it's worth it when I do. And I just enjoy the cowboy collar. So that helps as well. Number 3, we got our bronze medal, even though this is kind of a medal. Wish it would have placed 3, so that made a little more sense. Number 3, Bourbon Barkeep Whiskey of the Year on the pedestal goes to Wild Turkey's last, allegedly, Master's Keep Beacon. Now, this could be low on this channel. I don't know. We shall see. But Beacon, I don't think it is a knock to put it on third for who's above it. I love it. It's a mix of 10 and 16-year-old bourbon in there, 118 proof. Packaging is just absolutely elite. It is sweet. It is rich. The nose is absolutely incredible to it. And I can tell you, looking back at the rankings, pre-revisit, pre-blind, this was just 1 point behind second place. So neck and neck. But I will say it did lose 3 times to second place. So obviously personal palate. A lot of people have this first, if not second. This one, at least for me, it was third, and it is an absolute gem, if you will. Once again, pricing is not included. It was just pure juice. It's incredible. I mean, it's a rich, sweet pour, and third seems like a slight, but I can't tell if it's a credit to 1 and 2 or just how good the whiskey was this year. So, without further ado, number 2 whiskey of the year. It stood up. It's not pride. It's just a little better to my personal palate. I think the richness leans to what edition 2 brought with Little Book Infinite. I couldn't get around it. I enjoyed the richness, the oak, the brown sugars and toffees. There was just a dark richness that the Infinite had, to where this had a little more fruit rich sweetness to it. And both are great. Little Book beat it 3 times. And I had to make sure, mainly because it's just really good. When I did the compare between edition 1, which I did really like, I don't know if other people did. I didn't see it a lot, so I guess they did. Edition 2 beat it pretty handily, and I loved edition 1. So that should give you a hint on how good edition 2 is. Now, bourbonbarkeep whiskey of the year, because Rye's made it. American Single Malts made it. Okay, I'll stop. Hang on. It seems like this bottle was forgotten. I understand Jack 14 came out. If I would have tasted it or seen it or just had the opportunity secondary, maybe it would be up here. Maybe, I don't know. But Jack 12, price not included, I was surprised how just much better it was. At the lower proof, it has the richness that it punches above it in terms of viscosity and just pure delight. So maybe if you didn't find Jack 14, maybe Jack 12 starting to come down on some of these secondary sites and you could snag one of these. But this batch, batch 3, I've only tried batch 1, didn't find batch 2. Yeah, that sounds right, I think. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, batch 3, compared it against a previous batch, and it was better. It was very similar, but side by side, you could tell the slight difference, and this one was even better. So, edition 2, better than edition 1. Batch 3, better than whatever edition I tried previously. We'll put it that way. It could be slept on. It just seemed like the stepchild. You're like, I did have good intentions, but now they're sleeping under the stairs and I'm yelling at them. And my son Dudley's a bully. I realized I did kind of lie in terms of going over like high level tasting notes, but ultimately it was such a fun year for whiskey. Thank you for keeping on the journey with me. As you could see, not horribly professional, and learning, growing. And I still can't believe that people watch other people taste whiskey, but I do. So I guess it shouldn't be as weird as what it feels like when you're behind the desk. Thank you all again. Curious what your thoughts are. Like I said, this is only things that I have personally tasted this year. So have at it. What would you change? Is Sagamore properly rated? Overrated at this point? Beacon being underneath Little Book? I've already heard those people, and I'm standing by it. personal palate. When you put beacon above it, great. Good for you. Happy you found it. Outside of that, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I think another one will come out before that, but Merry Christmas at least.